Hello, I am Tara Nolan with transformationtara.com, and I am a transformation business and life coach. Why is authenticity so important? Because when you don't live with authenticity, you end up suffering in different ways in your life, such as depression and anxiety and you find resentment towards others when it doesn't need to be there, and it's really not anyone else's fault. It can actually be your own. So I'm going to dive deeper into this. Hi, Casey. Casey's in my annual magical manifestation mastermind, and she is one of the many courageous and confident clients that I am so honored to coach, because what happens is the women in my manifestation group, and also the men in the 90-day transformation, some can be in either one, but they show up having to be so courageous to step outside your comfort zone. And sometimes that's what it takes to getting back to this, the focus of this, that's what it takes to show up authentically. Because unfortunately, we don't live in a world of authenticity. I hate to break it to you. I hate to feel that. I hate to even know that, because people put on a mask, right? And they pretend that they're okay with things when they're not. And we do that with our partners and our relationships. And we do that in our careers. And we say, no, it's fine. It's okay. I'll just keep doing it day after day. But really, in your heart of hearts, you're not satisfied with it. You're actually in pain with what's going on in your day-to-day life. And when your day-to-day life is causing you some resentment, maybe towards your boss, your relationship towards your partner, or just towards the physical environment you live in, then that is actually a beautiful sign to you that a change needs to happen. And that's what it takes to be authentic. And it takes that kind of courage and confidence to show up and say, this is not okay with me. And if you don't know my story, I'm going to give a very quick synopsis of it, because I've told it before. But really, this is I'm so passionate about this. It means so much to me, because I always lived this way. But then there were times that I didn't. I would go in waves, right? I'd be right on, living my truth, being who I am. At the time, I didn't even use the word living my truth, but I actually tattooed it right here on my arm. And it means, this is in Sanskrit, a blessed language, it's Satya, which means truth, and it means live true to who you are. And when I think of the biggest changes, the biggest transformations I ever had in my life, it's when I got back to me and said, it's not okay to live another way. In my relationships, in my career, in romance, and where I live, anything. I am living something that's not really sitting right somewhere in my body, in my emotions, because our emotions show up in our body, right? So I had this kick-ass job in corporate America, and I worked my way up the ladder, and I really loved what I did. And I think that's why I worked my way up, because I was really passionate about it. And I had a dream, right? I had a dream to climb the ladder, to be successful, to make more money, and, make it. And that's when I was 25. And then I went really far between 25 and 30. And then into my 30s, I was still continuing to grow, but that's when it started satisfying me even less. And now I'm mid 40s, and I can say it's all come full circle, because I spent decades in corporate America, and I spent over a decade now studying spirituality and deep level happiness and fulfillment in people, and Eastern philosophies that really make a difference in our health and wellness, as well as, because the body and mind is so connected, and health and happiness are so connected. So what happened is I had a major trauma and loss in my life, and it was actually the loss of a dear friend from my hometown. And I see Brad Radke's on. Great to see you. And my friend was from that town. It's my friend Shane. And when he died, I just realized mortality was there. And I realized I wasn't happy with the life I was living. If we really could go tomorrow. So, and what our whole struggle is that we're always going to we're always looking for love and acceptance and belonging. And when you are spending your life trying to search for something, then there's always a struggle with that, right? There's a struggle in the search of trying to acquire love and acceptance. Even growing the corporate ladder for me, yeah, I was trying to get money, but really the only reason I wanted this money and success was so I could look good on the outside, and that doesn't fix what's going on in the inside. So when you start to say, I have love from within, you don't need it as much on the outside. Like, and you can start to accept that people do actually like love and care about you. And I guarantee every single person here that's watching has so much love and acceptance around them and even belonging if you choose to see it and accept it and believe so. And there's those people that don't, those people that are like, not always accepting of you or loving, or um, maybe they're judging you. Well, don't give a damn. Like, you don't give a damn anymore. You give a damn about the people who do love and accept you, and you give that love and acceptance right back to them. And you can give more kindness and love to the other people that might be judging, because they're actually judging themselves more harshly than they're judging you. Because that's where judgment comes from, right? It's like when we're hard on ourselves, we're harder on other people. And so, it's about having some empathy. So what happened for me is I was looking for a change, and I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to create a change. So I left everything, my company, my boyfriend, my family. I just left. And I said, I'm going to another country because I need a change. And it's like a whole new culture. I needed a whole new culture. I needed to learn new ways of living. So I went down to South America, and then that wasn't enough. I went to Southeast Asia and New Zealand and Australia and all these places. And I did this by myself. I took a year off of work. And after a year off of work, traveling around the world solo, that's when I finally realized the most important thing I had to know was just myself. I had to learn how to know myself. When I got to know myself on a deeper level, I started to realize what that's like showing up authentically, right? It's like, what is how I could live that was really in alignment with my authentic self, as they say, the authentic self, right? Live true to me. And I made a promise that I would never live a different way again that was not in alignment with my soul. And it's not to say that since then, once in a while, I've dipped into that, but I'm really conscious now. And I have decided that I wanted to live my life as my purpose to help other people to create that change so that they don't have to go travel around the world unless that's in their dream. Unless it's your dream and you have that ability that you can take a year off and travel and you want to do that, then that's true to you. But in all the work that I did on myself and in traveling, it was really about getting back to me. So I really found the tools to guide others to get back to themselves so you can show up with authenticity and not accept anything less. And it takes vulnerability. And we've been talking about this a lot in my mastermind this month. We have a theme every month. And showing up with vulnerability takes so much courage. Brene Brown is a great speaker and author that is known for this right now. But really, I've studied her and so many others and read that it's really a common theme underneath so much of the teachings that I thrive on and that I share. That let's just think about for a second, if you are having, whether it's a spat or disagreement or a fight with your partner, when you're at this place of being really defensive with one another, you don't get vulnerable about what really matters. What really matters is that it's not okay with me to be fighting with you. What really matters is that I just want to feel that you love me. And right now I feel that you don't, and I don't feel accepted. That's authenticity in that moment, or it might be something different for you, but it's not about the little things that we have disagreements and arguments and spats about. It's about that love and acceptance and how you're really feeling and being able to show up honestly with that. And sometimes it takes walking away for a moment so you can breathe and kind of disarm yourself from that defensive nature, because no productivity can happen when two people are at a point of being defensive, right? So if you're ever in this kind of heated situation, whether it's with a work colleague, a partner, a child, a parent, any kind of relationship, right? When you're at that point of both defending yourselves, just kind of recognize that in the moment and know that you can't have productive conversation that's actually going to provide resolution, because you're both guarded like this, right? And I said it in one of my masterminds this week, whether it was my 90 day or my manifestation, I'm not sure, but you have the sword here, you have the guard, the shield here, so no one can hurt you, and you have the sword here, and that's what you're doing, right? You're shooting out to hurt a little bit and hit them where it hurts with, oh, I just don't need you this way or something, and then you're protecting yourself, but there's no opening your heart for love or vulnerability, right? The same thing happens in business, the same thing. So, or with clients, or with, with employees or employers. So it's really important to authentically look at what you want deep down, who you really are, and realize is it actually related to love and acceptance? And what can you do to be really honest and provide an environment for the person that you're speaking with to say, this is a safe place for you to also share your vulnerability. This is a safe place for you to also show up as you are authentically and not be judged for that. So not only can you show up authentically, but can you provide a space for the people you love to show up authentically? And that's really hard. I see a lot of judgment of partners in relationships of how they should be or shouldn't be, right? So what if we could actually let people thrive as who they really are, even if we think their thoughts are a little off or wrong or different, right? And that's the most amazing part of what I get to do for a living, is I get to watch people really get to know themselves and show up with courage and share who they are authentically, and then choose follow their passion and their heart in business. And maybe it's the business they're already doing. Maybe they stay in a corporate position, which is fabulous if it works, or maybe they create their own. It doesn't matter. What matters is that it feeds your soul in some way, and that you're showing up authentically in all aspects of your life. So I hope that for you, that is my hope for you, that you create the most fulfillment in your relationships, in your business, and just so you can live the life you really want to live. And if you're just joining now, I see people, thank you, Deb, great to see you. And if anyone else has any thoughts on this or any questions, you can type a question in the comments section. And that's really the beauty of being live and me not recording this ahead of time and then playing it. It's that when it's live, you can actually interact, and it's where we can have some kind of funny conversation because I'm talking and you can type in a comment. So if you have any questions, comments, or you agree with something or you don't, I would be thrilled to hear that. But there is this sense of one of the biggest things I teach my clients, and this is just me sharing free coaching. You want to go deeper and get personal, then please book a call with me and let's do this in your own life. If not, this is just an opportunity to learn and share and still be a part of it. But what it's about is, in all of this, it's setting a new standard for yourself and holding yourself higher to say, this is now how I'm going to show up. I'm going to show up with authenticity, and there's going to be nothing holding me back. And I'm going to show up with courage, even when fear comes in, right? So I told you I left to travel the world at that time alone, when I recognized that I wanted to change my life and I didn't know how to do it. And I definitely had fear come in. I was going around the world by myself. I was landing in South America and not even knowing where I was going, what I was doing. And it might sound fun and adventurous, and it was, but it was also a little freaky and scary. What's it going to be like? Or landing in Asia for the first time. And but I'll tell you, every time fear kind of snuck in, I remembered what I wanted even more. And what I wanted even more was this experience, and I knew that's what mattered in my heart, and this opportunity for change. And there was something about it that meant something to me. Even when I did my teacher training in Bali, that a yoga teacher training, that was actually scary. I was showing up with all these people I didn't know in this different country, taking the plane to get to this little island, and not knowing what was happening. And there's certainly some fun to it, but every time fear comes in, you just say, but what is more important to me than the fear? And then it's your love for yourself. It's your dream, your love, your dream. Even you can apply this to your relationships. When you get scared that someone's going to hurt you and you think, I'm just going to put that shield up and guard my heart. But what's actually more important? That you share the love, right? That you say that you actually, we could protect ourselves from relationships and just cover our heart all the time. But then we would never, when we open it up, we get vulnerable. But then we can actually experience the gifts of love and relationships and all the beauty that brings to our life. Even though it can seem harder, we get more from it. It's hard to create a change in your life, but you might get more from it. It's hard to be authentic, but you might get more gifts in showing up that way. And you got to kind of do the work to get there. again, in relationships, in business, in travel, in following your dreams. It's like, just keep your eye on the future of what's most important to you and what matters the most. Like, if this is something you really want and you're like, in your heart of hearts, you're like, I'm not going to let fear stand in my way. Like, I want this. And that's what you do. You set that higher standard, you trust yourself, and that's where you go. So I didn't see any other comments or questions come in. I don't know if they'll show up later. But so with that, I will change, and I will tell you that I'm so sincere that I'm here to send you so much love, to have an absolutely freaking awesome life, because you deserve it. And when you when you get to, I love when little hearts or little emojis come up. So please do send me some emojis. Thank you for being here. But yes, give yourself this gift of this awesome life of relationships, share love. And when spats come in the way, just remember, like, what's most important to you. And when you have dreams, what's most important to you. So you have the best life in all aspects, with love, relationships, where you live, where you travel, whatever it is that your dreams are. So signing out. Have a wonderful night. Thank you for joining into Tuesdays with Tara. Hopefully talk to you guys soon. And if you want to book a call, I'll set a link down below if you want to talk about this further and see where there could be a breakthrough in your own life. I would love to be here for you. So, or send me a message. That's good too. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. Peace out.